This video covers the outcome tree, help files, and the learning outcomes library.
The other aspects of the onwards and upwards system is the outcome, the learning outcomes themselves. What is it that you are going to be tracking and recording against? So in this example, we have some very simple content, such as pivots as learning areas within it, or subjects if you like to call them subjects, and within that there are levels, and within the levels there are the learning outcomes, which we sometimes refer to as I can statements. Some schools do refer to these I can statements as targets, which is sometimes quite interesting in terms of dialogue, but anyway, we call them learning outcomes or I can statements. So this learning outcome tree can contain whatever you want it to contain. So the content is not hardwired, it's not fixed, it is literally what you want to add. So it may be that you want to add your own learning outcomes that you've created within the school. It may be that you want to use some commercial package such as pivots. It may be that you want to utilize something that other schools are using. Okay. So within the ELP files, and I'll just go and look at this now, within the ELP files there are instructions on the full system functionality, so each aspect, including significant number of videos covering all aspects, but there's also a learning outcomes library. So this contains learning outcomes that are used by other onwards and upwards school community, and they've made them available for other schools to look at and potentially use. Now, there is a copyright notice on here. The fact that you have visibility of these does not give you an automatic right to use them. So you do need to make sure that you have the rights and the written and the permission from the relevant author to use this. And not to use the library, but to actually utilize the content yourself should you wish to. So let's have a look at some content. You can search for a particular school. Maybe you want to search for a particular school that's like you, or you can search for specific keywords. So if I look to search for move, for example, you can see that there are a number of schools there that are listed as having move within their system. So this example of a school here, so give you some general information about the school, where they are, who is the contact. So if you find that you want to use any of the content that is relevant to this school, what we ask you to do is certainly get in contact with the person that's named here and just seek their approval. As long as they say yes, then we can make that content available to you. So that you can edit and tweak it further yourself, or we can put it directly into your system. So if we just have a very quick look here, so they have a number of areas: communication and interaction, which includes PECs and listening and so on, what they call cognition and learning, which multitude of areas from reading through to science, through to eye gazing, routes for learning, and they have social, emotional and mental health. And they also have sensory and physical, which includes move. So this is representative of the structure, but as I say, you can have your own structure however you want. So within move, you see that this is the way that it is structured. So if you look at any of these aspects, you'll see the content of that. So those learning outcomes, if they are of interest to you, as I say, just contact the school. As long as they say yes, we'll make them available to you. So you're as a subscriber to Onwards and Upwards, you're at liberty to review the library and see who else is maybe using content that could be of interest to you. Maybe save you a considerable amount of time creating your own content. Okay, so this is the library. As I said, that's available in the ELP. The other thing that you can do within the outcomes tree is, whilst this content is general, you can also add pupil-specific personalised content. But we'll look at that next as we move into the assessment screen.